Right here, Morty, right here on this side of the ringing road here. Oh, thank God.
Look, we all watch Rick and Morty for the adventures, the sci-fi chaos, the fart jokes. But what keeps us coming back, what really sticks with us long after the credits roll, isn't the spectacle. It's the pain, depression. It's not just a storyline in the show, it's a living, breathing shadow that hangs over nearly every character. And that's what makes it so brutally, uncomfortably real. Behind all the interdimensional insanity, Rick and Morty quietly paints one of the most honest portraits of depression I've ever seen in any series, let alone an animated one. And it's everywhere. It's in Rick's alcohol-soaked nihilism. It's in Beth's quiet existential crises. It's in Jerry's crushing inadequacy.
What?
Hell, it's even in Mr. Poopybuthole's shocking, out-of-nowhere breakdown. This series doesn't just touch on depression. It dives headfirst into the void, holds our hand, and shows us exactly how it looks, how it feels, and how it can completely consume a person. So today, we're breaking it all down. We're going to explore how each major character reflects a different, devastating shade of this same disease, why it matters, what it says about us as an audience, and how this show manages to make us laugh until we cry, while simultaneously forcing us to confront some of the darkest truths about what it means to be human. And seriously, stick around until the end, because we're going to tie it all together in a conclusion that, trust me, will change how you see these characters forever. This isn't just a video essay, it's a therapy session with a cartoon, and you might just see a piece of yourself in it. Let's get into it. Let's start with the character who, on paper, has it the most together, Beth Smith. A brilliant cardiothoracic surgeon, a mother, well, a version of Rick's genius, but
I agree with your look of horrified realization. You can be very inconsiderate sometimes.
with, slightly better emotional regulation. She's the picture of success.
Am I evil?
Worse, you're smart.
But that's the trap, isn't it? Her depression isn't the in-your-face, self-destructive kind like Rick's. It's quieter. It's a low-grade hum of existential dissatisfaction. It's the constant, nagging question.
Dad, I'm out of excuses to not be who I am. So, who am I? What do I do?
I mean, think about it. She's living in the shadow of an absent, godlike father, married to a man she openly resents, in a suburb that feels more like a beautifully decorated prison. This is why the cloning storyline in Season 3 is so genius and so terrifying. It's not just a wacky sci-fi plot, it's the ultimate metaphor for her depression.
Woody, my wife couch.
It's a desperate, last-ditch attempt to have it all without actually having to be all of it. To fill a void so deep that no amount of professional success or family stability can even scratch the surface. And that hollowness? It drives everything. Her toxic loyalty to Rick is a search for the approval she never got. Her coldness toward Jerry is a projection of her own self-disgust for staying with him. She's perpetually teetering on a knife's edge between wanting radical independence and being utterly terrified of being alone. Beth shows us the most insidious kind of depression, the one you can't complain about because from the outside your life looks perfect, but slowly, quietly empties you out from the inside.
You think the Smith family's gonna be okay?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Your total's 1237.
Hooey!
Mr. Poopybutthole, the mask of cheerfulness. If Beth represents hidden pain, then Mr. Poopybutthole is the masterclass in deception. For most of the series, he's pure, unadulterated comic relief.
Go to 21, go to 22.
The quirky, fourth wall breaking friend who's always happy, always positive, always ready with a catchphrase. He's the character you'd never, ever suspect. And then, the reveal. Out of nowhere, he breaks.
Well, guess I made a pretty big mess of things myself. Hooey!
He admits to crippling depression. He talks about the pills, the therapy, the thoughts he can't escape.
Ever think about how horrified the people we love would be if they found out who we truly are?
It's one of the most jarring, brilliant tonal shifts I've ever seen on television. Why? Because it flips the entire script on us. We're forced to confront a devastating truth. Depression doesn't always look sad. It doesn't always wear black and listen to sad music. Sometimes it wears a giant smile. Sometimes it's the life of the party. Sometimes it's the person who spends all their energy making everyone else laugh, just so they don't have to sit alone with the silence in their own head. Mr. Poopybutthole holds up a mirror to a reality so many people live with: masked depression. The idea that you can be the most cheerful person in the room and still go home to an unbearable weight of sadness. His arc is a gut punch reminder to check on your strong friends. To not assume that just because someone is laughing, they aren't fighting a battle you know nothing about. He stops being just a joke and becomes a profound statement. The happiest face can hide the deepest pain.
Sorry, Amy.
Yeah, just masturbating!
Jerry Smith, The Anatomy of Insecurity. Now, let's talk about the character we're all supposed to laugh at, Jerry. And we do. We laugh at his pathetic sales pitches, his desperate need for approval, his complete inability to be a competent human being. But if you stop laughing for a second, his story becomes one of the most heartbreaking depictions of depression in the show. Jerry's depression is the kind born from a lifetime of external invalidation. It's clinical-grade insecurity. He is constantly, relentlessly belittled by his wife, ignored by his kids, and treated as subhuman by Rick. Every day is a referendum on his worth, and every day he fails.
I just need a few $100s to get through the month. I have some interviews coming up. Something's gonna come through. I can feel it.
I'm going inside.
This creates a vicious, soul-crushing cycle. The more he's put down, the more useless he feels.
I guess this is what rock bottom feels like, Jerry.
Ow!
The more useless he feels, the less he tries. The less he tries, the more he fails. It's a feedback loop of despair. This is what psychologists call learned helplessness. It's when a person is subjected to a negative stimulus they can't escape, so they eventually stop trying altogether, even when escape becomes possible. Jerry's depression isn't glamorous or deep. It's pathetic. It's awkward. And that's what makes it so painfully real. It shows us that depression isn't always a poetic, philosophical darkness. Sometimes it's just giving up. It's the belief that you are so fundamentally broken that you don't even deserve to try. But here's the glimmer of hope in Jerry's arc, and it's why I have a soft spot for him. In those rare moments where he stands up for himself.
Wait. You know what? No! The milk people don't have a patent on simple rhetorical questions.
However clumsily, we see a flicker of a man fighting back against the narrative he's been fed his whole life. His depression is a cage, but he's still rattling the bars.
She lives, Jaguar. Where is this pickle?
This next character only appears for a few minutes, but his impact is permanent. He represents a completely different facet of depression, one not born of insecurity or emptiness, but of pure, unadulterated trauma. Jaguar is a mercenary, a killer. He is the embodiment of hardened, hyper-competent strength. His depression isn't passive like Jerry's, it's active. It fuels him. It's the engine for his rage, his vengeance, his entire violent existence. But if you listen to him, it all stems from one thing.
Pickle Man! You should know this isn't personal!
You should know that isn't original.
They have my daughter! There's nothing I won't do to see her again.
The loss of his daughter. His depression is the weight of survival guilt. It's the agony of being the one who lived. Unlike Rick, who numbs his pain with alcohol and cynicism, Jaguar channels his into a brutal, focused mission. He represents the idea that depression doesn't always look weak. Sometimes it looks incredibly powerful. Sometimes it's the driving force behind a person who seems utterly unstoppable. He's a tragic figure, a reminder that beneath the toughest exterior, the most hardened armor, can lie a grief so profound it reshapes a person's entire soul. His pain is a weapon, and he's turned it on the world. Rick Sanchez. His isn't just a case of depression. It's a worldview, a religion. His genius isn't a gift. It's a curse that allows him to see the universe for what he believes it truly is. Meaningless, cold, and absurd. His depression is all-encompassing. His alcoholism isn't a personality quirk. It's medicine. It's the only thing that dulls the constant, screaming awareness of infinite realities, infinite possibilities, and infinite versions of himself, all equally pointless. His famous line,
What people call love is just a chemical reaction that compels animals to breed. It hits hard, Morty, then it slowly fades.
it's the foundation of his entire debilitating philosophy. He pushes everyone away not because he doesn't care, but because he cares too much, and knows that in an infinite multiverse, loss is not a possibility. It's a certainty. It's easier to be alone than to feel the pain of losing someone again. His entire life is a monument to self-sabotage, a preemptive strike against a universe that he believes can only hurt him. But the true brilliance of his character, the thing that makes him so tragically human, are the cracks in the armor, the moments where the act drops. When he tries to kill himself in his lab, when he tells Unity,
Don't waste your brain on those weirdos, Unity. They're no different from any of the aimless chumps that you occupy. They just put you at the center of their lives because you're powerful.
that's not just Rick being edgy. That's a cry of unimaginable pain from a man who feels nothing. When he's broken up with, he doesn't get sad. He tries to end all of reality. That's the scale of his despair. Rick is the ultimate portrait of nihilistic depression. It's not that he's sad, it's that he believes sadness, love, and hate are all equally meaningless chemical reactions. He's a genius trapped in a prison of his own design, and he's too smart to find the key. He's what happens when you stare into the abyss for so long that you forget what light looks like. So what have we learned from this tour through the multiverse of misery? We've seen that depression wears countless masks. In Beth, it's the gilded cage of a seemingly perfect life. In Mr. Poopybutthole, it's the smile hiding a scream. In Jerry, it's the crushing weight of being told you're not enough until you finally believe it. In Jaguar, it's a trauma so deep it forges a weapon of a person. And in Rick, it's a nihilistic god complex that can't hide the broken, lonely man at the center. Together, they form a devastatingly complete mosaic of mental illness. It's not one thing, it's a spectrum of pain, a multiverse of coping mechanisms, some silent, some loud, some self-destructive, and maybe that's the ultimate point of Rick and Morty. It's not about depression, it understands it. It uses the infinite canvas of sci-fi to hold a mirror up to the most finite human parts of ourselves. It makes us laugh at the absurdity of it all so we can, maybe just for a moment, stop crying about it. It tells us that our pain, however unique it feels, is not alien, it's human. And in showing us the darkest corners of these characters' minds, it does something extraordinary. It makes us feel less alone in ours. So I want to hear from you. Which character's struggle resonates most with you? Is it the quiet emptiness of Beth, the masked pain of Mr. Poopybutthole, or the chaotic void of Rick? Let's talk about it down in the comments. If this video meant something to you, if it made you think or feel seen, then do me a favor. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. It really helps us out. And lastly, if you're fighting your own battle in your own citadel, please remember, you are not a Jerry. Your pain is not pointless. Help is out there, and it's okay to need it. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.